Listen, he was one of the best linebackers in our entire linebacking core last year during the preseason. And by the end of it, especially in that 49ers game, everybody was calling for this kid to make not only the 53-man roster, but also to become a starter, especially as Divine Diablo continued to struggle throughout the regular season. And while coach Antonio Pierce did let him onto the 53-man roster, he never really let him become a starter in replacement of Divine Diablo. And I think that was a big mistake because this kid has one of the highest motors out there. Basically, in my opinion, he is a Max Crosby as a linebacker, and I am talking about Amari Gainer. Amari the Ferrari Gainer is still on the squad. He is still working his butt off, and according to all of the reports that I have seen, this dude may very well become a starter this season because he is simply outplaying everybody. And now I understand that it is only OTAs right now. We haven't even hit minicamp. We haven't hit camp yet. We haven't hit preseason yet. But if he continues to upgrade himself and he continues to have that high motor that he had last year in the preseason, and he continues to have that lights out play that he had for us in the special teams, which was a role that he played a very big part in last year, I do believe that Amari Gainer is one of those guys that is just simply going to make this squad. He is going to, at the very least, he should start seeing some rotational play this season, because of the fact that Amari is very good in coverage, something that Divine Diablo was terrible at last year, which is why he's no longer on the team. But Amari, he's not an elite athlete when it comes to the coverage. He doesn't have elite linebacker speed, but he doesn't need that. Why? We're going to get into all of that here in just a minute. But first, I do want to say thank you to today's sponsor, and that is Box House. My guy Kevin over there is going to take really good care of you. If you need an ADU, if you need a tiny home, check them out. Link is down in the description. They have a couple of different models to choose from, and they can deliver pretty much anywhere in the country. So give Kevin a call because he is a super awesome dude. He'll walk you through the whole thing, and he'll do whatever it takes to make sure that you are satisfied with this product. And I truly believe in him. He's just that cool. So go ahead and check them out. Box House, down in the description is the link and Kevin's phone number. Give him a call. Talk to him about getting yourself an ADU or a tiny house. Now, listen, there's one thing that is not tiny, and that is Amari Gainer. The dude stands at 6'3.5", and he has over 230 pounds. He hits like an absolute Mack truck. And his football IQ and his ability to read what the offense is doing, what runners are doing, what tight ends are doing is off the charts. When you watch this guy play all the way back at Florida State, all the way back after, he finished his last year at North Carolina. When you watch him in college, this dude time and time and time again is ahead of the offense. He is preempting whatever it is that they're trying to do, and he gets off blocks with ease. So I don't understand why Amari Gainer did not get a bigger role last year, especially seeing how we were out of the playoffs. There's nothing to play for. We all knew Divine Diablo wasn't going to be back with the Raiders. Why not have put this kid in for at least the last couple of games as a starter and really, put his feet to the fire and see what he can do? I was flabbergasted that didn't happen, but it's a new regime. And I think in this regime, there's one thing that Pete Carroll really values, and that is guys who work their tails off. Amari Gainer is absolutely one of those guys. He shows up on time. He shows up early. He stays late. All the reports about his character, his drive, his hustle to make this team, and not just make the team. This guy wants to be an impactful player for the Las Vegas Raiders for years to come. He loves being there with the Raiders. And so you have to take a look at it when you have Pete Carroll as the head coach, and this is the exact type of dude that he likes. High motor, high football IQ, makes plays. He's always around the ball. He never gives up on a play. And even if he's off of the play, even if he's on the other side of the field, if he sees a running back going and makes a break, he's running across the field. He's not just relying on the safeties or the corners. And this is why I'm very high on Amari Gainer. And I think that this dude is going to have a fantastic career with the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, what I want you guys to do is I want you to comment down below before we go any further. Do you think that the Raiders linebacking core that we have right now is enough? Or do you think that the Raiders still need some more additions, maybe in the free agency? Same thing with the cornerback situation. I know there's a lot of hoopla out there about the Raiders making some moves for some corners, but honestly, I think this, and this is my honest opinion, the Raiders didn't draft a linebacker, and this is what all the pundits were saying was a major need for the Raiders after losing Robert Spillane. They didn't draft the linebacker until the 6th round. So that tells you that as they're looking at the playmakers that we have on this team right now, the young talent that we have on this team right now, with a guy like Amari Burney, with a guy like Amari Gainer, and all the free agency pickups that we went and did, that they are satisfied with the linebacker situation right now. And this is why I truly believe that Amari Gainer is going to be a starter at some point in the season. Now, it's all up to Amari Gainer. He has to make that decision that in the preseason, he is going to show out just like he did last year. Now, if we look at it last year, the dude had 13 tackles, I think 2 sacks in that game. He absolutely balled out. But this is nothing new for Amari Gainer, because if you look at Amari Gainer's stats all the way back in college, this dude has consistently been one of those guys who puts up big numbers. Even though at Florida State, he wasn't a full-time starter. That's why he went to North Carolina, where he became the full-time starter, and he had great numbers. The only knock on Amari Gainer is this: he doesn't have elite speed. And I promised you I was going to touch on this and why this doesn't matter for Amari Gainer. Well, here's the answer to that question. His football IQ and his ability to position himself ahead of whoever he's supposed to be defending is why he's always there to either make the tackle, and we're going to talk about his tackles here in just a second, but he's always in a position to make the tackle, break up the pass, or somehow cause a turnover, because he's just in the right position. So you don't have to run a 4.40 as a linebacker, because listen, Divine Diablo was faster than Amari Gainer, but Amari Gainer or Divine Diablo was terrible when it came to zone pass coverage, and especially man pass coverage. And he was always out of position, and he wasn't a good tackler. But if you go and you watch Amari Gainer tackle, I know they call him Amari the Ferrari, which would say like finesse and everything. This dude has maybe the engine of a Ferrari, but he is built like a Mack truck, right? When he hits either a wide receiver, a tight end, or a running back, he makes them feel that impact. And the other thing I absolutely love about Amari Gainer, and you should too, is the fact that he wraps up. This dude is like a python out there. Once he gets his arms wrapped around whoever he's taken down, he's not coming off. And that is absolutely key, because so many times, especially with Divine Diablo, and I'm not trying to bag on Divine Diablo, but so many times you would see runners run right through Divine, and it was off to the races. You don't see that with Amari Gainer, and that's why I absolutely love this kid. I think he's going to make the starter role this year at some point. At the very least, he's got to be in the rotation at that linebacker position, because he's just too good, too hardworking, and too sound of a tackler and a football player to not have him out there.